Normally, I never get excited about finally getting to play really anything. Usually, I only really ever get excited if it's a new hyped up game release, or it's something that I finally get to work, either through the dark web on emulators, or just through various applications. Today, however, is a bit special. I finally got a very specific game working, that I've wanted to bring to this channel for years. One that has so much potential for video ideas and general fun. I don't think I need to say much more on the topic. So with that, I can't believe I'm going to say this, let's beat Breath of the Wild for the 18th time. So I've done this on a Switch that many times, okay? This video was born through 7 hours of footage, so this video is basically just going to feature snippets from the entirety of the Great Plateau, all 4 of the Divine Beasts, as well as Ganon. We begin by waking up in some water, because we gotta replicate the women giving birth in cold water joke. Good job, Nintendo. We then acquire the Sheikah Slate, or better known as the iPhone. See what I did there? We acquire some new drip in the form of pants and a shirt and make our way into the sunlight to experience one of the best views in gaming history. Check it out, boys, I can swing a stick! We'll start by grabbing some shrooms that I'm definitely not going to get high off of, and head down to not talk to this old man. Because why would you talk to an old man under a rock? We grab this axe, kiss goodbye to that stick from 3 seconds ago, and continue down the path. We then get stopped by Zelda, Whisper Edition, and get told to follow the point on the map. In doing so, I decide to kill several bokoblins, to get some items and weapons, of course. No, this is not murder, so don't come at me, FBI. We then enter the iPhone into a pedestal to get upgraded into the iPhone Samsung Galaxy S21 Plus Ultra. Then, several towers and shrines rise all across Hyrule, indicating that Hyrule now has a bulge in its pants. Then, for whatever reason, a tear falls onto the iPhone. Clearly, this is Apple crying at the lack of support that we end up giving them. We then jump from this tower and talk to the old man. Long story short, he basically says in the long term that we gotta get 4 shrines on the plateau and he'll give us his paraglider as a reward. With this, we make our way to the first shrine, Magnesis. I then kill this robot with a block, thus starting the block wars of Hyrule. And after leaving, I go to these ruins to get some better drip in the form of pants, because the first one just blatantly sucked, and the first pair of pants definitely showed some things that I wasn't comfortable showing. Realizing that I have all of the game's DLC installed, I see a DLC chest here in the Eastern Abbey. It contains a Switch shirt. No, this isn't product placement, so don't come at me, Nintendo. Nothing much happened in the bomb shrine, so let's just fast forward to the old man's house. We rob him of his food and cook some food right in front of him. We then sit till morning and set our eyes for the Stasis Shrine, just above us on the mountain. Nothing much happened in the Stasis Shrine, so let's breeze past that. We then eat some cold resist food and travel to the top of Mount Hylia to get the warm doublet from the old man, because apparently he couldn't just give us that at the start of the game. So now, I'll be super cold for when a winter in Antarctica hits. Which is all the time. While I'm here, I'm grabbing a Korok. These Korok seeds can be traded to a Korok named Hestu to get weapon, bow, and shield upgrades. And there's 900 of these guys in total. Sorry, did I say 900? Yeah, there's 900 of these little piece of craps in the entirety of Hyrule. I then explode several bokoblins and head into the Cryona Shrine. Nothing much happened here. We come out to the old man telling us to go to the Temple of Time. So let's just go there. We then pray to the statue and use our 4 spirit orbs to get a heart container, because hearts are pretty cool since I suck at not being able to get hit in a video game. We then go to the top of the temple and find out that this man is King Rome Bossforama's Hyrule. What? No way! Oh my god, wow, that's insane! No, it can't be! Oh my god! This joke is too old for this community. With this, I can have a perfect segue to the lore segment of this video. Yeah, so apparently Hyrule was just minding its own business one day, and then Ganon was like, "What's up, losers?" and began its attack on Hyrule for like the 17th time in this franchise. Then the people of Hyrule began to punch the ground like it's Minecraft for some reason, looking for these machines made by their ancestors. And then I find some big chungus dudes, the Divine Beasts, as well as some robots with legs, the Guardians. Zelda, Link, and 4 other dudes, also this cute chick by the way, gets tasked with sealing away Ganon, and unfortunately, they fail. And then Ganon's like, "Alright, hold my beer, let me show you how to actually kill a universe," and literally kills everybody and takes Hyrule for himself. Now, we stand here 100 years later ready to beat his yet again, and Zelda's just kind of at the castle, you know, sort of defending him, and we're definitely going to lose this time because of course we will. Okay, so hopefully you got all that. He then tells us to go to Kakariko village to speak with Impa, some old chick who's gonna help us save this land. He then gives us the paraglider and then just pieces out into the void. Cool talk, bro. Very cool. And now, let's do a trick that I call a wind bomb. Yeah, you're gonna see this a lot in this video, just saying. With that out of the way, my first objective off the plateau is to do 3 things. Number 1, we're getting Majora's Mask simply for the lulz. Secondly, I'm gonna get the Phantom Armor. It's a DLC armor set that'll help in the long run, primarily during the Thunderblight fight. I also collect the Star Kremet in the middle of this field, which is pretty dope. And after doing this, also thirdly, I make my way to Faron Tower and collect some more Koroks along the way. I'm heading to Faron to get Hardy Durians, as that's going to be the main source of hearts, since shrines are kind of behaving a little weirdly. And I don't really do shrines normally anyway either. The game experiences an epilepsy crash of sorts, and then therefore I had to reboot to make it stop. Once we get past that, we get the Durians, unlock Faron Tower, and return back to the Great Plateau to make our way to Kakariko Village. I pick up some shrines along the way, cook up the Durians once I get to Kakariko Village, and then I go to speak to Impa. Not before seeing Paya, who clearly just wants to get laid. She then tells us to free all 4 Divine Beasts to help defeat Ganon. Okay, cool. Thanks, old lady. Once all this is done, I collect some more shrines as I make my way to Zora's domain to start Vah Ruta. Sidon out here is just standing, waiting for his next victim in plain sight. But don't worry, he's now rainbow and part of LGBTE or whatever the heck it's called. Pretty cool, eh? Hello! Meet your new best friend, a fish person, who apparently can stand outside of water, even though he's a fish. He says he'll help guide us to Zora's domain by literally being the one friend who is there literally every step of the way. We then take a pretty long trek to Zora's domain, and speaking of that, if you're ever looking for arrows, just follow this path, as the Lizalfos here carry several pounds of arrows on their person. I then do a pretty insane wind bomb and land at the bridge in Zora's domain. Sidon is here naturally to greet some dude with some purple chains, and honestly, kinda looks like a servant of Megatron, and tells us to see him with the king. We first pick up this longsword, and then for unknown reasons I had to reboot the game, since every once in a while the game would just start lagging extremely hard, and the only way to fix that was by restarting. After a restart, I then picked up several items around Zora's domain, like some shields and stuff, and then speak to the king, a giant fat chungus of a man named King Dorephan. Dorephan has asked us to help calm a giant divine elephant, and Muzu over here is like, "Screw this kid, I want to kill him, Hylian suck." The king then gives us the Zora armor, and Muzu over here is like, you know, why? And then runs off like an angsty teen. Sidon and I go tell him the truth, to which we then get a flashback of Link and Mipha sitting on Divine Elephant. Also, I'm just gonna say it out loud now. Anyone else think that Mipha is a better girl than Zelda? I mean, she literally has feelings for the boy. Look at my face. Oh, god dang it. Muzu then realizes that, well, he's kind of a dong, and then tells us that in order to calm Vah Ruta, we'll need shock arrows. And in order to get those, we'll need to go to the top of Mount Polymus and get some while sneaking around a Lionel. We make the trip to the top of the mountain and definitely don't piss off the Lionel in the process. We get what we need and head to Sidon at the East Reservoir and begin our journey into the first Divine Beast. Deja vu! I've just been in this place before. I'm done. Let's break some ice and shoot those shock arrows at those pink spots. You only actually need 4 shock arrows for this if you're actually like a god. Subtle flex. We stop Ruta from forever peeing into the sky like she has for the last 100 years and then head inside. Mipha then tells us that we gotta talk to the stone to get a map of the place. And once that's done, we gotta find 5 terminals to activate the main terminal. This system is going to be the same for all 4 Divine Beasts, so here's a little bit of a short montage of getting some of those terminals. After getting them all, we head to the main terminal and face the boss, Water Blight Ganon, arguably one of the easiest blights in the game. And it's not because he's made of water, come on internet, you're not stupid. Mipha then shows up and delivers the traditional anime-style breakup, and then we get warped out. Ruta then goes and fires a beam of hot chili at Hyrule Castle, and that's pretty much about it. Now let's head to Death Mountain and to our next Divine Beast, Vah Rudania. We'll need to purchase some potions from this lady here first, as without them we're probably going to burn to death as we make our way to Goron City. Once we have those, we'll begin our ascent upward, and in doing so, I completely got lost and couldn't figure out where I was. Once I realized where I was, though, I had to backtrack, as we're going to need to complete a side quest that's mandatory if we're going to want to do Rudania. Here in this mining area, the Southern Mine, which definitely doesn't involve 40-year-old fat dudes sipping Pepsi and mining a cryptocurrency, we find this guy. He agrees to give us the Flamebreaker armor if we can provide him with 10 fireproof lizards. And so, after spending around 69 seconds finding them, we get the chest piece, allowing us further resistance to the entire state of Florida. Oh, yeah, I didn't mention we're in Florida. Yeah, welcome to Florida. I thought you would have known that by now. Goron City is alright, but Jesus Christ, the building infrastructure here has me on edge. If an earthquake happens, you're all dead. I then purchase the Flamebreaker boots, so that we don't have the need for Flame Guard potions until we fight Fireblight Ganon. We then talk to this old guy, otherwise known as Shigeru Miyamoto. In the process of cracking and breaking his back several times, we learn that Yunobo, I think his son, is missing. So now we gotta go find him to make sure that this old man's drugs are delivered for his back. Welcome to the North Mine, where instead of 40-year-old men, it's now 16-year-old dudes, and there's now somehow women involved in this Florida heat. We free Yunobo, and then he screams that the monsters found him. Yes, Florida law enforcement found him for having an AC unit in his car, because those things are banned in Florida, didn't you know? Yunobo thanks us and then returns to Goron City, and we'll do the same here shortly by windmilling back. We return and speak with the old man, and then the game crashes upon the loading of Daruk's memory. So, after a quick reboot, we then learn that we gotta find Yunobo at Elden Bridge. Surprisingly, guess what? Yunobo is being attacked by Moblins, so let's dispose of them. And you know what? We haven't had a proper battle scene yet, so here's a battle scene. We save him and launch him out of a conveniently placed cannon to lower the bridge. And now begins our slow entry into Vah Rudania. Speaking of that, Rudania then sends out the bane of everybody's existence, the monetization police. And now, we gotta fight him. Gee, that literally sounds like every content creator on this platform, doesn't it? We'll have to perform a completely legit and not scripted at all Mission Impossible and launch Yunobo out of some cannons to make Rudania stop being pissed. I hit the police with some metal objects, kill some moblins, and shoot Yunobo out of some cannons, and we finally make our way into Rudania. Upon entering, it actually gets pretty dark. I don't know why this is, but it actually works. Once we got our map, let's do a short montage of getting these terminals. Our next boss is Fireblight Ganon, which I completely cheesed the first phase of the fight by continuously shooting him in his face.
Watch out for that sword! Lay it on, little guy!
I then pitched several bombs at him and cleaned house. With Fireblight down, now let's begin the long journey to Rito Village, the face of Vah Medoh. First, however, let's visit Hestu, as we're gonna need some inventory expansion before heading further. We warp back to Kakariko Village, and we get his maracas back from this group of boys who clearly just wanted to use them for their meetup. And after paying 1 Korok seed to him, we get to see the best dance in gaming history. After finishing there, we run over to Riverside Stable and get some more inventory slots with the last of the seats we have. And after that, I set out for the long 25-minute journey on foot to Rito Village. We arrive via a wind bomb, because of course, and we get to see Bird Jesus in the sky. I then do this really crappy shrine, and personally, probably one of my least favorites in the game. Yet I didn't think of just wind bombing to the end. We then talk to Kanali. He tells us that we gotta find Tiba. We talk to his so-called wife, who says that he's probably at the flight range. After rebooting from yet another crash in the cinematic, we get to see the absolute pain in the butt Chad that is Rivali. He's kinda like that guy in high school. He doesn't bully you, at least just not physically.
Creating an updraft that allows me to soar. It's considered to be quite the masterpiece of aerial techniques, even among the retail. With proper utilization of my superior skills, I see no reason why we couldn't easily dispense with Ganon.
Also, this was a good wind bomb, by the way. We then meet Tiba, another angsty teen. Seen a pattern yet? He tells us to shoot some targets because he thinks we're complete dog crap. And listen here, Tiba, I've played this game and beat it like 17 times, so I think I know what I'm doing. He then gives us a falcon bow and we head up to Vah Medoh. We gotta use these bomb arrows to destroy the completely obvious and definitely not deadly force field that surrounds Medoh. And after doing so, we enter. And Rivali is still pissed.
I had a feeling you would show up eventually, but making me wait 100 years is a bit indulgent.
Once again, another Divine Beast montage. We then face off against Wind Blight Ganon, to which, similar to Water Blight, one of the easiest blights in the game. He dies, and with that, we can move on. We then wind bomb into Gerudo Desert and land at Kakariko Bazaar, where we see Elephant, but it's definitely bigger this time, trust me edition. We then wind bomb again to Gerudo Town and talk to this Hylian who is spying on the front entrance. He informs us that we're going to need an armor set to even get enter the town. So we wind bomb back to the bazaar, planning to purchase the Gerudo Veil set from some dude there. During this moment, a blood moon happens, and this basically resets the entire game, with mobs that you killed be able to respawn, items in the overworld return, that kind of thing. So with that, let's just stand here and see what happens. We then purchased the set, and now Link is a waifu. God dang it, Nintendo, you couldn't go one console generation without one of your franchises having a waifu in it somehow. We then wind bomb back to Gerudo Town and enter the city. We buy some durians, some arrows, and then we speak to Riju, another hot chick who definitely doesn't have a thing for Link. Well, at least not yet, at least. She tells us that in order to tame Vah Naboris, we need the Thunder Helm, which was stolen by the Yiga clan. We now make our way to one of the hardest areas in the game, the Yiga clan hideout. But not before we get caught by none other than the copyright police. And they're out here to get you for your copyrighted music. We beat them and take their duplex bows, which in my opinion is probably one of my favorite bows in this game. Now we head into the hideout and we just gotta stealth our way through it. It's pretty straightforward. Just remember that bombs and bananas are your friends. We then face Master Koga, which was pretty dope, since come on, how can you not like this guy, like seriously. He then tries to launch this ball at us, fails to move out of the way, and commits suicide. We get the Thunder Helm and return to Gerudo Town. We then speak with Riju in her bedroom. Yep, this definitely isn't about to get weird, and then she puts on the Thunder Helm. We then get a cinematic with Urbosa, in which she shoots some lightning and wakes Zelda in a sleep, and then she casually pulls the typical anime act.
Urbosa! What was that? Did you feel that? Wait, what? How did you... What are you doing here? What's so funny?
We agreed to help Riju and wind bomb to the station. And after getting some bomb arrows from Riju, we set out towards Vah Naboris in a sand seal. Yeah, that's probably not what you were expecting. You know, are we still in Florida? Just saying. Normally, you'd want to stay in this gray field, as to not be shocked by the beams of electricity from Vah Naboris. But this is PandaPowerSauce, so clearly, I bent the rules a bit. The beast falls, and we go inside. Alright, here's another montage for you people. Now to face the hardest blight of them all, Thunderblight Ganon. What makes Thunderblight so hard is simply how fast he moves, particularly in his second phase. I'll leave some footage here so that you can see what I mean. Regardless, we beat him up pretty good, and we got our last heart container and finished our final Divine Beast.
You did it.
Now let's finish up some final preparations and head for Hyrule Castle afterwards. We warp back to Riverside Stable, and I cook up some things like durians and bananas. I swap into some decent armor, that being the Phantom Armor, and get my weapons prepared. Once we're all set, we now begin the wind bombing journey towards Hyrule Castle. Also, god dang it, this game looks better than a console right now, so let's just take that in for a moment. And now, finally, after, admiring, let's finally head into the final area of the game, Hyrule Castle. Our first order of business isn't actually to head to Ganon. Rather, it's to lock up. Primarily for weapons and, of course, the Hylian Shield. Upon getting down there, we have a battle with a Lizalfos and a Moblin, and then we face off against this Staunox, which was rather easy. We then get the Hylian Shield as our reward. After this, we slowly make our way towards the Sanctum, collecting more weapons along the way. This is it. Final preparations, all of our food is ready, our armor, our weapons. I think we're ready. Let's head inside. And after rebooting from another crash, god dang it. After rebooting from another crash, we see all 4 champions fire their hot chili lasers from their divine beasts. This allows Ganon to start at half health, and with that, the final battle begins. I'm just gonna let the better moments of this fight play out, as it's basically just a combination of all the Blight fights. Jesus, Ganon, if you want to drop below, you can do it on your own better or something, man. Like, jeez. We then warp onto Hyrule Field and experience the actual final battle of the game, Dark Beast Ganon. We then get given the Bow of Light. That definitely isn't just a cheat code from Zelda herself. Also, when did I get a horse? I don't really know. Regardless, you know, meet Tommy, because Tommy in it is a horse. We then shoot some glowing points on Ganon's body, although I question, how is Zelda able to make enough power right now to do this, since she clearly just said that she couldn't contain him anymore when we got to Hyrule Castle? I don't know, man. I really don't know. We then shoot the Eye of Sauron in his head, and then we get a special cutscene.
May I ask, do you really remember me?
Yeah, no, I definitely don't remember you. Are you Mipha if she was a human? Because I definitely smashed that. What a game, gents. What a game. I think that's a good place to end the video. The months I've spent getting this game to work is crazy. You may not think that getting this to work would be terribly hard, but trust me, when you're somebody that doesn't really look into this stuff very often, it's pretty difficult. The game does have its issues though, like crashing on cinematics, mysterious epilepsy screens, and some parts that you didn't see, like Link moving slowly in shrines, and even the game freezing and soft-locking when selecting different runes in the rune menu, particularly in shrines as well. It's unknown if I'm going to make more videos on Breath of the Wild, but if I do, oh man, I got a lot cooked up for that. Regardless, it took a lot of work to get this video made, with a whole 7 hours of footage chopped up to make this video. And so with that being said, if you like this video and you want to see more Breath of the Wild videos, make sure to like this video. If you're new to the channel, subscribe, as I post videos all the time. If all the time means at least 1 to 2 a week. With that, my name is PandaPowerSauce. Remember to stay saucy, and I'll see you in the next one. Later.